So I'm aware that in my last video I did say that there wouldn't be any more videos coming from Cornwall, but I'm back here for a short while. I'm in Truro today. I'm basically back in Cornwall sorting a few things out before I move up country. And I had a conversation which I managed to capture on camera with a gent called Martin, who's living on the streets here. And unfortunately, like most of the country, people living on the streets is becoming more and more of an issue. More and more people have been forced onto the streets, and as you'll hear from my chat with Martin, more and more people since COVID and with the cost of living crisis, they can't afford to upkeep their payments, and so they're being forced into rough sleeping. But yeah, this is a topic that's really close to my heart. I want people to understand that more and more people are living paycheck to paycheck, and that they're only a couple of bad rolls of the dice away from this happening. And I also want to show this because I want people to understand that, you know, there are, you know, all the wonderful sights of Cornwall, all the beaches, all the tourism, everything that people think about, but they don't necessarily associate the homeless problem with Cornwall. They just come here on holiday and think of everything being picture perfect and good times, but in places like Truro, there are people struggling, people being forced onto the streets, and I just want to give them a voice and just give them an opportunity to just, I mean, they shouldn't have to explain it, but just to explain to people that everyone's got a story that leads them to where they are, and that they deserve a little bit of empathy and respect. So yeah, this is the conversation I had with Martin earlier, and I hope that, you know, I hope this helps make you understand that the problem isn't just from the big cities up the line, but it's also a problem that affects Cornwall. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening, folks. Cheers. Martin. This is Martin. And when I've been walking around Truro in the past, I've noticed that, like, there are people that sit here, and, you know, like, they're clearly like living a hard life on the streets, and this is a spot just by the pay machine here in the car park. So Martin, tell me a little bit about your story and how you ended up on the streets here.
COVID ruined me, to be honest.
Okay.
I was self-employed plasterer before.
Yeah.
COVID ruined my business, my marriage, so then obviously I separated.
Yeah.
Then found myself on the streets. I was in Derby. Decided that, to be fair, why do I want to wake up on the streets down there when I can come down here and wake up on the streets?
Okay.
There is a lot of help round here, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There is help round here. It's slow. They try to help a bit through like the cold weather and that, but there is this like St Petrock's up the road there and that, so they're quite helpful. He's gone through it as well. He's been through it all. Yeah. I'll see you in a bit.
Nice to meet you, mate. You're right. Yeah.
I'm getting there. Right.
Yeah, it's nice getting down there now. So yeah, he's working, mate. It's starting to work.
Yeah, come up and see us, yeah?
Yeah, see you later.
Oh, looks like all right, yeah?
Yeah, nice. Sound, mate. Cheers.
See you, Kate. Tell us, give us a ring.
Yeah, we'll do. All right, see you later.
So, so you've been, like, you've relocated from Derby to come to Truro. I have, like, people I've spoken to before. They say that like there's a lot of like relocation of people from like up the line. Because like there's a lot of like lack of facilities in those areas. So you think the facilities are better?
To be fair, it's hard anywhere. They seem to want to help a little bit more down here. Than what they do up there.
Do you think that's because they're, I mean, obviously,
I think
one
more
person is overloaded,
isn't it?
Yeah, there's that as well. But do you think it's because, like, you know, some of the towns and cities up the line are so overloaded? Do you think they're passing off the problem a little bit? Or?
No, I don't think it's so much as that. I think a lot of people don't want the help. They'll run it through that they want all the help. And they'll waste everybody's time. So they'll go out. I've had people come out to me from different agencies, and they've been talking to me to try and help me to get off the streets, and they've been phoning people up and offering them places, and they've point blank refused it with a lot of horrible way that they speak to them, you know what I mean? So a lot of people waste their time.
So do you spend most of your like evenings, your nights on the streets?
Yes. We was in here, but we got evicted out of here.
Yeah, so I've noticed before. The first place I wandered around was often like on the second floor. There's a group of people. I thought I might be able to bump into some people there. This was my second port of call. But so what's at the moment? What's like an average day like for you?
Just try and get a few quid, get a drink, get something to eat. and then try and get somewhere a little bit warmer to sleep.
Yeah.
It's like I've had tents and that, but then you get people trash your tent.
Yeah.
So if you can't carry it around with you or find a good hiding spot for stuff, then it just gets wrecked.
Yeah, so I don't want you to give away your spots, obviously.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't ask you to do that, but you're staying in and around this area, town centre.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, do you find it like relatively, like, compared to like Derby, do you find it relatively easy to get a couple of quid for something to eat?
You can have your good days and bad days.
Yeah.
You can have a day where you can just get literally a quid if you're lucky.
Yeah.
But then you get other days and yeah, you do all right.
Yeah.
So you know you're definitely eating that day and maybe the next day. So
Okay. Yeah. So very much like day to day.
yeah, but like I'll speak to them that went past. I isolate myself from a lot of people as well, because a lot of them it's hard enough for yourself. Never mind with a group of people, and like if you're sat with a group of people, you're not going to get any help or very little.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And how about? I mean, like, how about you? Do you feel safe on the streets here? Do you feel like you've got? Like,
you try and get where there is other people at night time, just so as you can feel
people
a
you
bit
trust.
safer. Yeah, because like in the other car park, someone got beat up, someone else got set fire to.
Set fire to?
Yeah, this is in the last sort of like few years.
Is this happening from other people in this situation, or is this like?
No, this is like normal people.
Yeah.
This is like pissed up people.
I was worried, concerned that
Yeah.
that was the answer you were going to give.
Yeah, no, that does genuinely happen.
Yeah.
It does.
Because
So.
one of the reasons, like, trying to make videos like this is obviously there's a lack of empathy. It almost goes without saying to me and you, but a lot of people that watch this probably won't really ever stop to talk to people that are down on their luck.
Yeah, no, not a lot of people will, but they don't realise this is something that can happen to anybody. I was up there a few years ago. I was up there. I was earning over £1,000 a week. And now, if I can get £10 a week, I will.
Well, we'll try and sort that out for you in a bit. But so in terms of like, this is probably a difficult question for me to ask you, but in terms of like short-term, medium-term future, what are your plans at the moment?
Hopefully I will have somewhere decent soon. Like I say, I've got pet shops and that are helping, so they're really good. So they refer you through to different places and what have you. So yeah, I'm optimistic on it.
Yeah, and how's your mental health and yourself? You seem optimistic. You seem.
Yeah, no, I've got a good smile on with everybody out here, but inside I'm not smiling like that.
Yeah.
So I've just recently been put on tablets and that from the doctor for my mental health and that. I've got leg ulcers, which is doing really bad at the minute. So it's a struggle, especially when you try and use the toilets, like the public toilets, and that to try and clean wounds up to heal, to try and get healed up and what have you. It's difficult.
Lack of obviously like infections,
sanitation, sanitation and all that. It is difficult.
So have you got anything that you'd like to say to people that might just click on this video?
Just don't think that everyone's all drug addicts and drunks, because we're not all like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're not all about that.
Absolutely.
So
every single person's got their own story.
They've all got a different story, exactly.
And there's a stereotype for everybody these days, and I'm really trying to just sort of like, break that stereotype a little bit.
Yeah, well, I've spoke to a few people in the public and that, and a few of them, they realise that it's not like all one-sided sort of thing, you know what I mean? And they realise it could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
So.
How long did it take when things started falling apart for you? How long from, like, say you were earning £1,000 a week?
It was when COVID hit, the second lockdown. That
self-employment.
Yeah, self-employment.
And just like your income just dropped dramatically.
Because I was domestic work, like all in people's houses. So obviously the second lockdown come, can't go in no one's houses. Everything cancelled. That was it. Business was belly up. So. Yeah, it didn't take long because the relationship was already on the rocks a bit as well, and that just sort of like put the nail in the coffin.
So like almost like a perfect fire of really bad things all bubbling up,
just
and
everything
then,
all happened
COVID
at once,
was the spark.
That was just the final thing of it. Yeah.
You know, that we can all end up.
Anyone can end up like this.
A few bad rolls of the dice.
Yeah, of course.
I just want people to understand.
Quite a lot of people are a couple of paydays away from this.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. A lot of people, more than ever, with the cost of living crisis, are obviously, like probably closer in terms of paydays away from this bad situation than ever. So just everybody have a little bit of empathy. And when you see people, just try and at the very least just give them some respect.
Just say hello.
Just say hello.
You know what I mean? It's not bad just sitting out and trying to get like a couple of quid off people.
The other thing I'd like to say is that I think when people judge people because they might be using drugs or alcoholism on the streets, but put yourselves, folks, in this situation where you live in this really difficult life. And like a lot of people, as a way of coping, would turn to some kind of substance.
Yeah.
And it's commendable that people that don't manage to keep themselves away from that for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay, mate. Yeah, I'll keep wandering on and see if I can meet a few other people.
No worries, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks very much.
It's good to
Cheers,
meet you.
mate.
Yeah.
Thank you.